for everyone. I'll do my best to tell you how much time and energy each of the hikes require. I'll also point out some longer hikes, knowing it's probably unlikely we'll spontaneously go for a 6-hour trek through a mountain. But if we're here for more than just one day, returning for a longer hike that takes us further away from the sightseeing crowds is an absolutely brilliant way to spend an extra day.
Right from St. Mary's entrance nunchi.
The next left is the way to join the Sun Point Nature Trail. That delivers 3 waterfalls in just under a 2-mile relatively easy hike. We can turn in if that sounds like something we'd like to do. Now there are shorter options that I'll explain after we pass Sun Point access. Soon after, we can do a short hike through Sunrift Gorge to Bering Falls. That one is less than a mile round trip. Watch for the small parking areas on both sides of the bridge. The trail starts by going under that bridge, where we can view the intricate rockwork, and then continues down to the falls. Now it is a little bit steep once you go under the bridge, but really pretty and worthwhile. If you're finding the going's good for you, the trail continues down to the lake and intersects with Sun Point Trail. You can turn right where they meet to walk from here to St. Mary Falls without having to stop for parking again. As always, we'll want to bring along our bear spray. Even though this area was scorched by the substantial Reynolds Creek fire, it's quite interesting to hike through and see how the forest renews itself, like which trees and bushes and flowers are able to take hold first in what was once blackened terrain. Fire creates a big advantage for the lodgepole pines that have cones that open in the heat of fire. Those little guys get to sprout first. They don't stay little guys for long. They end up blocking out other competing species from being able to dominate the forest.
And compared to what we're going to get, this is not a whole lot. The rock colors good, huh? Look at the different colors they have.
All right, up ahead, we'll see the parking fallout on our left for St. Mary Falls, one of the prettiest waterfalls in the park. From that fallout,
I don't know for sure how long this takes.
Just a 2.5-mile round-trip hike to visit the 35-foot-high falls. So count on about a leisurely hour and a half to complete it for most people. If we're willing to add on an extra mile, we can hike past St. Mary and see Virginia Falls, too. Those are 50 feet high. Beautiful. All right, driver, that parking pull-off is on our left.
నిన్నైతే చేసి ఉండొచ్చు కానీ నిన్న వాన
పడుతుంది కదా. ఫోటో తెలియకనా అది మూమెంట్ కూడా వస్తుంది దాంట్లో.
ఫోటోనే తీసి
As we drive, we'll catch sight of the Going to the Sun mountain in front of us and to the right. As you may have guessed, it's the namesake for the famous road. But where does that unusual name come from? Well, there are 2 versions of the story. Let's start with the official one. When the road construction was completed in 1933, the U.S. Department of the Interior issued a press release with the following explanation, and I quote, "The deity named Sour Spirit came down from the sun to teach Blackfeet braves the rudiments of the hunt. On his way back to the sun, Sour Spirit had his image reproduced on the top of the mountain for inspiration to the Blackfeet people." Not sure why, but the official rendition of the legend just seems to fall kind of flat for me. I wish they'd provided a little more information on the legend to make it seem more complete. Some skeptics believe another tale that the Going to the Sun name was simply made up by an early explorer of this area who heard the legend from a Blackfeet guide traveling with him. Well, in either case, the name is tied to the Blackfeet who've lived here and in this area for thousands of years.